Hello friends, welcome to Study IQ. Today we are going to talk about NTPC Ramagundam. Recently, NTPC Ramagundam has actually turned fly waste into some sort of wealth. We'll try to understand what exactly they have done. We have also seen recently that fly ash, which is generated in the power plants, the coal-based power plants, the fly ash is used as a fertilizer bricks in production of bricks or in some sort of interlocking tiles. We have also seen that. But this time the NTPC Ramagundam has developed a new product where it uses 90% of fly ash in creation of that particular product. So we'll look at this particular discussion. We are also going to talk about fly ash in a detailed way. So let's begin our discussion. But before that, I am your friend Rahul Saigaunkar. You can follow me on the IDs which are given here. If you have any doubts or queries, you can directly message me on Instagram, or you can also email me on this particular ID. Study IQ has brought comprehensive prelims cum mains program for you for UPSC 2021. For more information, please download the app and don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel Study IQ. Now let me first talk about, in general, the news. NTPC Ramagundam has come up with innovative ways of reusing fly ash, which we'll be looking at the end. Earlier, we see that fly ash was used mainly for fertilizers, for bricks, for creating these interlocking tiles in some agricultural applications, etc. If you talk about fly ash, it is a dangerous byproduct which is released from thermal power plant and which causes large-scale air pollution. Not just air pollution, it causes multiple types of pollutions, which we will see in our discussion. But first, let's talk about fly ash in general. What exactly is fly ash? The ash, it looks something like this. Very fine particles. It's a byproduct of burning coal in the electric power plants. Now, this is the ash which is not collected at the bottom. That would be, I would say, a coarser kind of a ash. But this fly ash would be very, very fine. The particles are so fine that they are transported from the combustion chamber by the exhaust gases which are escaping out through the chimney. Now this, if it is released in the air, it is going to cause huge problems in our environment. It is going to lead to air pollution and other environmental degradations. So what is done is this fly ash is collected in the chimney or from the pathway from combustion chamber till the exhaust. It is collected through electrostatic precipitators, where it comes and gets attached to this electrostatic precipitator, which is shaken off, and then the fly ash is collected at the bottom. Now, after you collect this fly ash, the bigger question comes, how are you going to dispose it off? We'll talk about that in some time. But when I look at this fly ash, what does it contain? It contains huge amounts of silicon dioxide, aluminum oxide, ferric oxide, and calcium oxide. Now, if you look at all these ingredients, majority of these are used in production of cement also. And that is why we use it, fly ash, in production of cement, the Polana cement, which is already there. But apart from these substantial quantities, the fly ash also contains many harmful constituents like arsenic, beryllium, boron, cadmium, cobalt, other trace elements. In fact, it also contains concentrations of many dioxins, which are big pollutants. It also contains a lot of unburnt carbon also. Now, the next question arises, what is the problem? I've already told you that it contains a lot of toxic materials. So what would be the impact if the fly ash is left as it is in our environment? First of all, it is going to cause toxic heavy metal pollution, right? Because without proper disposal, even if I follow a process of simply dispersing it on the ground, what is going to happen? Rainfall. After rainfall, the heavy toxic metal, they are going to leach into the soil and they are going to harm and go for soil pollution, right? Now what happens next? The runoff water after rainfall, it is also going to cause water pollution, because these toxic chemicals are going to eventually flow into water bodies and cause water pollution. They are also going to impact environment very adversely. They are going to impact mangroves, destruction of mangroves. They reduce the crop yield, because in the fly ash region, you will see that the leaves, they will have a thick layer of fly ash itself, which reduces the productivity of crops. Apart from that, there is also a problem of radiation pollution. Now, you might be thinking that how exactly fly ash will cause radiation pollution? I told you it has got many trace elements which might be radioactive also. Now, at the smaller level, you might think it will not be a huge problem. But try to compare how many coal-based power plants are there and how many nuclear power plants are there. And many experts believe that if you compare this particular data, the nuclear radiation would be minuscule when you compare to fly ash radiation pollution, right? Because the quantity itself is very, very huge. So it does cause a lot of problems in our environment. So understanding is clear that we need to do something about this fly ash, because right, the electricity that we see here, the light which is here, right, how is it coming? It's coming from the coal-based power plants, because we are trying to diversify still. We are not into majority of renewable energies. Majority of energy in India still comes from coal-based power plants. That means fly ash is being produced for sure. How are we dealing with this fly ash if it is so much problematic? See, a lot of things are being done already. For instance, the Maharashtra government has a fly ash utilization policy. That means some minimum percentage has to be utilized in road construction, etc., etc. So fly ash is already used in road construction as a sub-base. It is used in cement production. I told you that the major constituents are constituents of cement also. So we can use it for cement production. We can use it to create bricks and pellets, which can be used in construction later on, or it can be used for embankment or some sort of structural filling where it can be used. In terms of agriculture, it can be used for soil stabilization, soil amendment. It can be used as a fertilizer also to a certain extent, not to a large extent, because it is again going to create problems of leaching heavy metals. In the cooler countries, it can also be used to take care of the problem of icing. So loose application in rivers against the melt ice, or loose application on roads or parkings, basically to control ice formation, etc. In the cooler countries, all these things are already done. But despite all these, how much fly ash would be left out? We need to find out a solution of fly ash where we can utilize it to a maximum extent to reduce the environmental pollution. And now NTPC Ramagundam has come up with a very, very innovative solution. They have come up with a new geopolymer where they have created coarse aggregates as a replacement to natural aggregates that we have. Natural aggregates means for construction, what do you need? You need concrete. So say for example, if you want to prepare a roof, you need cement. Yes, in cement you are using fly ash. We need sand, for that you cannot do anything, and you do need concrete. Concrete, the black small stones that we use in construction. Now what NTPC Ramagundam has done is it has created similar concrete geopolymer aggregates where 90% of fly ash is used for production. And recently they have tested this particular geopolymer at the National Council for Cement and Building Materials in Hyderabad, who have found that this geopolymer coarse aggregate, it would be suitable for concrete work. Now just imagine what kind of a solution is this. Now we are going to cater to almost entire fly ash if this particular policy is used. The only thing is that we need to make it more cost effective, right? So research is still going on with NTPC Ramagundam, although the physical properties have been tested, but there will be more and more modalities. In future we'll know if it can be subjected to real-time application. But as of now, a great achievement by NTPC Ramagundam, where they have created geopolymer aggregate from fly ash. 90% fly ash utilization has been shown through their research. So a very good development. That's it from my side on this part of discussion. I hope this was interesting. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.